In this channel, we bring you the freshest discussions taking place in Japan's online community.
On the 27th, a U.S. newspaper reported that former President Trump is considering imposing a flat 60% tariff on imports from China if he is re-elected. If he returns to power, it could deepen the U.S.-China conflict and potentially impact the global economy.
Is 60% okay? Isn't the labor cost in China about 1,100th of that in the US? Shouldn't we impose around 600% tariff? There is a valid reason for the 60%. Since the Obama era, the US has been consistently urging China to raise the value of the Chinese yuan to above $5 pre-devaluation in the 1980s per dollar. The 60% increase brings the yuan to $4.26 per dollar. This has been ignored since Xi Jinping took office, leading to the current situation. I think Xi did well, abolishing term limits for the General Secretary. After the term limits were lifted, China gradually became more like North Korea and followed the US. If they do this, won't there be retaliation against companies like Tesla that have entered China with foreign investment? Tesla is American-owned and a rival to BYD. Trump has many problems, but he won't start a war. But 60% might become an excuse for war, who knows? China hasn't done anything wrong. It's nonsense. Its existence is wrong. It's threatening other countries all the time. What are you talking about? If they do that, won't there be retaliation in return? If the US loses the Chinese market, its economy will be in trouble. Japan might have a chance. The US won't collapse just by cutting ties with China. There are plenty of alternatives like India, Brazil, and Mexico. If money is involved, this guy will flip. Those who trust Trump are just racists. Trump is also talking about ending most favored nation treatment for China. It's time to completely push China off the cliff. Trump says what he means and does it. It's both terrifying and reliable. Trump is a businessman for America first. He doesn't care about other countries. Japan seems to be in for good times without doing anything. It seems like we can seize Chinese companies and plunder wealthy Chinese through investment immigration. Trump was angry with Japan too, especially about Nippon Steel's acquisition of U.S. Steel. The Rust Belt is Trump's solid support base. No need to worry. Japan is a special country. China went too far. Why repeat the same mistakes while watching Japan? Since India is also growing, China seems to be no longer needed. Like Macedonia or the Roman Empire, a superpower collapses after internal division. China is increasing companies with headquarters overseas, making money through apps and entertainment. Imposing tariffs will only damage U.S. consumers and the economy. By the way, it seems Japan will also face a 10% tariff increase, so please be prepared. It's the Americans who will pay, so say, please, to them. During Trump's time, there was peace. Biden is starting many wars. He threatens, but it doesn't lead to war. The death merchant Biden is honestly scarier. Trump pressures through business because he's a businessman. Biden pressures through military force because he's a neocon. Well, Trump will probably bring world peace. He opposes war simply because it's disadvantageous. Canada and Mexico already have more trade with the US than China. Since China is dying due to the stock market crash, why make it an enemy? The goal is not to crush China but simply to protect domestic industries. However, Trump's approach is too focused on America first. Trump's mindset hasn't been updated since the 1980s, and that's the problem. It's not realistic anymore as the supply chain can't be run solely in the US. But it resonates with low-educated, low-income Trump supporters. Trump won't go to war, but he's comfortable pushing things right up to the edge. Why are super old grandpas fighting for the presidency in the US? Because Trump is better than the young ones. DeSantis and Haley are young but not as capable. Trump is straightforward protectionism. Just impose tariffs and ask for reciprocity. In addition to this, he's also claiming compensation for the coronavirus. China won't be able to invade Taiwan. 60%? Why not just ban imports altogether? In another 20 years, the US will probably be desperately attacking India. They don't care about freedom or democracy. They just can't stand a country becoming stronger than them.
Did you find this video interesting? We'll keep bringing you fun topics from Japan's online community. Please subscribe to the channel and drop some comments.